Hey everybody out there in the wild universe, this is Survivor 2002 coming at you again from the Secret Lair in Virginia. It is Tuesday, March 10th, 2009, and it's been just a little over an hour since the end of our first official night of performances, the top 13 for American Idol. So I made a few notes here, and I'm gonna just tick over the performances real quick and the impressions I got. Oh, forgot to mention, tonight was a Michael Jackson themed night, which I don't really understand. After all the judges, hemmed and hawed about there's just certain songs by certain artists that you don't mess with. And then what do? They have a Michael Jackson night. Like the saying goes, you got to break a few eggs to make some omelets, and some eggs really got crushed tonight, let me tell you, kids. So, having said that, let's tick down the list here. First off, Lil Rounds, The Way You Make Me Feel. Diamond Lil, you know I love you, girl. Still do. But I just wasn't feeling it the way I was last week when you did Be Without You. Okay, this week I have to sort of agree with Kara or Randy, whoever it was, when they said that it's still a good performance, but that song for you was kind of like Aretha doing the alphabet song, It was, I don't want to say it was safe. I mean, you're doing Michael Jackson. It's kind of hard to be safe when you're going to be compared to the king of pop, one of the best singers, if not the best pop singer in the business. But like the performance, I don't know if it'll be strong enough to keep you in this week. I hope it is, because I really want to hear you knock it out of the ballpark with something like some classic Aretha or even some Chaka. That's going to be something to hear you do that. Scotty McIntyre, Keep the Faith. I really had to think about where I'd heard that before, because that song was off of, I think it was Dangerous, and it was a dangerous song to do. It was a dangerous pick because a lot of people were sitting there going, Keith, what? This is a Michael Jackson song? And I think it is. I do remember it now that I've had a chance to think about it, and I think you did an okay job on it, but picking obscure songs, even by the best artists in the world, is an iffy choice at best. So I would really be shocked if you don't go home tomorrow night. Scott would be one of my very first picks for the chopping block, possibly. So I've only put stars by certain names on this list, and these are the performances that were just like, okay, you are not going home. There's just no way. Period. That performance pretty much cemented your spot for the next week, if not the next 3 weeks. Danny Gokey with PYT. Wow. He is the white soul singer that Taylor Hicks wishes he was. He's the soul singer that would even give Elliot a run for his money. You know how I feel about Elliot. Elliot's just like, hey. I kind of wonder if he didn't use some of his musical training and background to do that. That arrangement was amazing, because the way it started off, I was like, PYT, I don't know if that'll work. Then when he broke it down after the slow part, it was like, oh, you son of a gun. You really had me fooled there for a second. I thought, oh no, Danny is going to get creamed for this. And I don't care about the dancing. The boy was feeling it. So maybe he looked a little goofy up there with some of the movements, but his heart was definitely in that and then some. That's why I love that performance. So, Simon, bite it. He could always fix the choreography, but that singing, I put 5 stars by his name. That's all I need to say about that. Danny Stain. Michael Sarver, You Are Not Alone. Big Hollywood, hate to say this, you may not be alone on the bus going back to where you came from, because that, first of all, is not one of my solid MJ favorites. It was during that iffy time when he was with Lisa Marie, and the less we say about that, the better. I still love Big Hollywood. Give you much props for just hanging in there. I don't think the performance was that terrible, but you could have picked a lot better song than that one. So it was good enough to keep you in the running. I don't know. Jasmine Murray, I'll Be There. Okay, she's young. I mean, she's 17. Still has a lot of experience to get under her belt. She has a pleasant enough voice, but she's very, for lack of a better description, she's very Disney as far as the sound goes. And girlfriend, I'm sorry, I could not concentrate on your singing for that dress you were wearing. It's like, Janet Jackson's gonna kick your ass for taking this out of her Good Times collection. Oh, God. Yeah, the glam squad need to be put in front of a firing squad and shot for putting you in that dress. Talk about, Simon addressing the whole thing about you're acting too old for your age. That dress wasn't helping none. And I'm not even a fashion expert, but wow. Yeah. Next time they hand you something like that, throw it back and tell them, get me something else. As far as performance goes, I think it's a young enough song, but the arrangement just didn't do you or the song any favors. So, Jasmine, I don't know. You might be headed out the door too, but we'll see. Chris Allen, Remember the Time. Okay, Chris has definitely not been on my list of favorites. People like him because he's cute, he's fresh, or whatever you want to call it. He appeals to especially the female demographic. Need I say more? And I know the guitar thing with Remember the Time was kind of a tip of the hat to Jason Mraz, who I know who it is. I like his stuff. But Chris, Jason Mraz, you ain't. Sorry, no. I mean, I could understand you pulling out the guitar for a song like Ben, but Remember the Time? I mean, a lot of these MJ songs remind people of why MTV was so damn brilliant, because the videos help to sell the songs and move the albums to a point where you hear the song, the first thing that comes to mind is going to be the video. So you really run the risk of being compared to not just Michael's brilliance at songwriting and the collaboration with Quincy Jones, but Michael Jackson's coordination on the choreography on a lot of these videos, which still has yet to be matched in a lot of cases. I mean, those are classics. Remember the Time, for me at least, comes only second to Thriller as one of Michael's best videos. So you do that song, that's the first thing that's going to pop into my head, at least, the images of Eddie and Iman and Magic Johnson and that great choreography, and of course the Egyptian setting. It's not fair. I mean, you should be able to be judged on your own merits, but hey, we are talking about Michael Jackson here. So Chris will probably get enough votes to stay in there, but just barely.